Hello YouTube fans, it's your boy Brad here with another video. As you probably saw in my last video, I had purchased the GTX Studios TTL480 strobe off of eBay. And like I said, I needed a strobe when I went outside and did my thing, that I didn't have to have a battery pack and all these other things to go along with it. So I went the cheapest route. So you look below in my YouTube channel, you'll see a video on the unboxing of this. I will also be doing another video on its power outside with it is supposed to be TTL and high-speed sync. So we'll see how those things turn out. Right now I did a little test outside and I'm not understanding the high-speed sync. I know how to use high-speed sync. I usually do it with speed lights off camera, but this one, there's something weird going on. So we'll get to that, but right now I'm going to test output power. Again, that is the GTX Studio TTL480. It's supposed to be 400 watts, and I'll be testing it against my Godox SK300 version 2. Speed light. Of course, you know the Godox is not high-speed sync or anything, but I used this yesterday outdoors for a family shoot, and it will get the job done, just to say, but it is not high-speed sync. Like I said, I'll be testing the power output. Over here I have my Sakonic set up. Get you on that, and got that set up. Let me get it to going. Press the button on the side of it. So we'll read the output. So we'll be reading power in the as it relates to f-stop, and that will give us a good indication. Both of these are set up the exact same distance, pointing directly at the light meter. So got that set up. The SK300 by Godox would only go down to 1/16 power, so I'll be hitting it first and I'll be doing all of these manually. So there's the Sakonic at 1/16 power, and we get f-stop of f4. The GTX Studio will go down to 1/28, and see what we get. I press that button. It is hard to make that thing go off for some reason, and we get a whole nother stop down. So we get f2.8. So now I'm going to match the GTX to the Sakonic. The GTX to the Godox. So I'm going to bring the GTX to 1/16 power and see will that match up. I'm going to hit the Godox again, and we got F4 again, and I'm going to hit the GTX and see will that give me the same number. That looks like 6.3 to me. Yeah, that is 1/16 power, and it is saying, let me make sure I am on 1/16 power. Yeah, it is saying, hit it again, F6.3. So the GTX, both of these at the same power level, 1/16. The GTX is putting out a lot more power. It's able to get lower when I set it at 1/28, but both of these are set at 1/16, and I'm getting the exact, not the same power output level. I'm going to go all the way up to half power here. Skip all the in between. Now let's start at a quarter. We're going to do a quarter power on the Godox SK300. Here we go. The Godox gives me a F10. That's at a quarter power. Now we're going to bring the the GTX Studios up to the same thing in quarter power, and we get a F13. So we're still getting a significant amount of more power out of the GTX Studios, which is 400 watts, 300 watts. Those things should not matter if we're, by my understanding, sitting at the same power output level, or well, maybe not. Maybe it's a quarter as it relates to the power of the studio strobe. So maybe I got that wrong. So just kind of letting you know what's going on here. We'll go to 1/2 power on the Godox. This is the Godox at 1/2 power. And let me double check, make sure my light meter is still reading. We go do the Godox again at 1/2 power. And we get F11 on the Godox at 1/2 power. We'll go to the GTX. Go up to 1/2 power. And here we go. And we get a F18. F18. Now we're going to go all the way to full power on the Godox, which is, again, the Godox is 300 watts. And the Godox gives us a F18. Cool. F18 on the Godox. We're going to go to full power on the GTX 460. And there she goes. And we got the same thing. That was full power. And do it one more time. F18. Now, I have a question for myself. No, it'll go higher. Let me make sure my light meter will read higher than. Yes, it will. My light meter will go way higher than F18. And let me make sure it is still reading. Yep, it is still reading. I'm going to hit the SK300 again at full power. And we're still getting F18. I'm going to go back to 1/2 power just to make sure everything's working. On the Godox. This is 1/2 power. I'm going to have to hit this twice because it has to do a dump. There we go. There we go. Remember, whenever you bring the power level down on your Godox, the Godox SK300, it has to do a power dump. So that first flash is not going to come down. Back down to F11. I'm still on the Godox, guys. I'm going to come back up to full power. And she's charged. And F18. Now I'm going to go back to the GTX. And it's still at full power. And we're still getting F18. I'm going to come down to 1/2 power on the GTX. Right there. And what do we get? F13. F18. Hit it again. So I'm going to stick with the GTX here. Make sure my speed light is still doing its thing. Because between 1/2 power and full power, the GTX does not seem like it changed. That's full power. No, that's, where am I sitting? 1/2 power. Now I'm going to go to full power. No, there is no difference in power output between half power and full power that the GTX Studios light is giving me. So there's claiming 400 watts. This might only actually be closer to actually 300 watt output. F18. I'm going to do a couple numbers between. I'm going to come down to just over 1/2.7, I guess we would call it. Same. We're going to do 1/2.3. I'm still on the GTX. Same. Come down to 1/2. Same. Come down to 1/4.7. I can't see that from here. And it starts to drop off. I'm going to do 1/4.3. And I'm calling these points. These are the hash marks in between, guys. Did that come down? Got an F14. Come down to 1/4. F13. Come down to the next notch. F11. I'm going to do that one again. Yeah. There we go, guys. There's, like I say, it's on the cheaper side. It does seem to work, but from half power to full power, that next power level of output there is not there. So I'm guessing at half power, this thing actually is at its peak. The next thing we'll test is the modeling light, and I'm gonna do that real quick here, hopefully. Here we go. Get to the mode. There we go. I'm not sure I can do this. Actually, to do this, well, yeah, I can. Yes, I can. I'm going to turn the modeling light on the SK300. It is maxed out. I'm going to come right to my point of interest here and see how bright that is. Let me turn this light off on my flash unit. I think it's on my camcorder. We're getting a 1.6. You see that? Turn that one off. That one has a regular, the SK300 has a regular tube type light bulb for its modeling light. There we go, we got it off. Now I'm going to come over to the GTX, which has a LED modeling light. Figure out how to get it turned on here. Just a second. I will use the trigger. We get this one turned on. Yeah, modeling light. Modeling light. Here we go. Oh, here we go. Sorry, guys. And I'm going to bring it all the way up to full power here. Like this. There we go. Give me for the delay. You see it's a, so we get about 1.3 out of that one. Bright enough to do whatever you need to do. Matter of fact, I'm gonna back the camera out here a little bit. So you can kind of see the shadow. Matter of fact, what I will do, move this stand out the way that I have my speed light hanging on. Bring Sam into the picture. There we go. She's leaning all over the place. There's the shadow off of the GTX studio light. Turn that one off. Go back over here to the SK300. The SK300, like I said, has a bulb. The GTX has a LED, which is a cool feature, but it's just a feature. And so you see the GTX has a warm light. I mean the GTX had a cool light LED, and the Godox SK300 has a warm light LED. So there we go. Also, you're seeing another cast from the the ceiling light in here. But just wanted to show you that, guys. I know it's a long video, but we learned some things that the GTX Studio